Okay, it's day 34 of reading through the scriptures. We're going to start in Genesis chapter 34. We'll also have Isaiah chapter 34, Psalm 34, and Mark, I think that's chapter 6. Please hit the like button so more people get to see this video. And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, whom she had borne to Yaakov, went out to see the daughters of the land. And Shekem, son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the land, saw her and took her and lay with her and humbled her. And his being clung to Dinah, the daughter of Yaakov, and he loved the girl and spoke kindly to the girl. And Shekem spoke to his father Hamor, saying, "Take this girl for me for a wife." And Yaakov heard that he had defiled Dinah his daughter. Now his sons were with his livestock in the field, so Yaakov kept silent until they came. And Hamor, the father of Shekem, went out to Yaakov to speak with him. And the sons of Yaakov came in from the field when they heard it. And the men were grieved and very wroth, because he had done a senseless deed in Israel by lying with Yaakov's daughter, which should not be done. But Hamor spoke with them, saying, "My son Shechem's being longs for your daughter. Please give her to him for a wife, and intermarry with us. Give us your daughters, and take our daughters for yourselves. And dwell with us, and let the land be before you. Dwell and move about in it, and have possessions in it." And Shekem said to her father and her brothers, "Let me find favor in your eyes, and whatever you say to me I give. Ask of me a bride price and gift ever so high, and I give according to what you say to me, but give me the girl for a wife." But the sons of Yaakov answered Shekem and Hamor his father, and spoke with deceit, because he had defiled Dinah their sister. And they said to them, "We are not able to do this matter, to give our sister to one who is uncircumcised, for that would be a reproach to us. Only on this condition would we agree to you, if you become as we are, to have every male of you circumcised. And then we shall give our daughters to you, and take your daughters to us. And we shall dwell with you, and shall become one people. But if you do not listen to us and become circumcised, we shall take our daughter and go." And their words pleased Hamor and Shekem, Hamor's son. And the young man did not delay to do this, because he delighted in Yaakov's daughter. Now he was more respected than all the household of his father. And Hamor and Shekem his son came to the gate of the city, and spoke with the men of the city, saying, "These men are at peace with us, so let them dwell in the land, and move about in it. And see, the land is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters for us for wives, and let us give them our daughters. Only on this condition would the men agree to dwell with us, to be one people, if every male among us is circumcised, as they are circumcised. Their herds and their possessions, and all their beasts, should they not be ours? Only let us agree with them, and let them dwell with us." And all who went out of the gate of his city listened to Hamor and Shekem and his son, and every male was circumcised, all who went out of the gate of his city. And it came to be on the third day, when they were in pain, that two of the sons of Yaakov, Shimon and Levi, Dinah's brothers, each took his sword, and came boldly upon the city, and killed all the males. And they killed Hamor and Shekem, his son, with the edge of the sword, and they took Dinah from Shechem's house, and went out. The sons of Yaakov came upon the slain, and plundered the city, because they had defiled their sister. They took their flocks and their herds and their donkeys, and that which was in the city, and that which was in the field, and all their wealth. And all their little ones and their wives they took captive, and plundered all that was in the houses. And Yaakov said to Shimon and Levi, "You have troubled me by making me a stench among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites, and I am few in number, and they shall gather themselves against me, and shall strike me, and I shall be destroyed, my household and I." But they said, "Should he treat our sister like a whore?" All right, tell me in the comments what you think about that. Did Simon and Levi do what was right? All right, that's not the right section. Got to go to Isaiah next. Judges, 1 Kings. Getting close. All right, there we are. All right, this is Isaiah 34. Come near, you nations, to hear, and listen, you people. Let the earth hear and all that is in it, the world and all its offspring. For the displeasure of Yahweh is against all the nations, and his wrath against all their divisions. He shall put them under the ban. He shall give them over to their slaughter, and their slain be thrown out, and their stench rise from their corpses. And mountains shall be melted with their blood, and all the hosts of the heavens shall rot away. And the heavens shall be rolled up like a scroll, and all their host fade like a leaf fading on the vine, and like the fading of one of a fig tree. For my sword shall be drenched in the heavens. Look, it comes down on Edom and on the people of my curse for judgment. The sword of Yahweh shall be filled with blood. It shall be made overflowing with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of kidneys of rams. For Yahweh has a slaughtering in Bozrah, and a great slaughter in the land of Edom. And wild oxen shall come down with them, and young bulls with bulls. And their land shall be drenched with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of the vengeance of Yahweh, the year of recompense for the cause of Zion. And its streams shall be turned into tar, and its dust into sulfur, and its land shall become burning tar, that is not quenched night or day, its smoke going up forever. From generation to generation it lies waste. No one passes through it forever and ever, so that the pelican and the porcupine possess it, and the owl and the raven dwell in it. And he shall stretch out over it the line of formlessness and stones of emptiness. Its caves with no one in them is called a rain, but all its rulers have vanished. And thorns shall come up in its palaces, nettles and brambles in its strongholds. And it shall be a home for jackals, a courtyard for ostriches. And all the wild beasts of the desert shall also meet it with the jackals, and the shaggy goat call it to its companion. The night creature shall also settle there, and shall find for herself a place of rest. The arrow snake shall nest there, and lay eggs and hatch, and gather them under her shadow. There too the vulture shall gather, each with its mate. Search from the book of Yahweh and read. Not one of these shall be missing, not one shall be without a mate. For he has commanded in my mouth, and his spirit shall gather them. And he shall cast the lot for them, and his hand shall divide it among them with a measuring line. They possess it forever. From generation to generation they dwell in it. Alright, now we got Psalm chapter 34. This is another acrostic. I bless Yahweh at all times. His praise is continually in my mouth. My being makes its boast in Yahweh. Let the humble hear and be glad. O make Yahweh great with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought Yahweh, and he answered me, and delivered me from all my fears. They looked to him, and were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed. This poor one cried out, and Yahweh heard him, and saved him out of all his distresses. The messenger of Yahweh encamps around all those who fear him, and rescues them. O taste and see that Yahweh is good. Blessed is the man that takes refuge in him. Fear Yahweh, you his set-apart ones, for there is no lack of them who fear him. Young lions have lacked and been hungry, but those who seek Yahweh lack not any good matter. Come, you children, and listen to me. Let me teach you the fear of Yahweh. Who is the man who deserves life and loves many days in order to see good? Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. Turn away from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of Yahweh are on the righteous, and his ears unto their cry. The face of Yahweh is against evildoers, to cut off their remembrance from the earth. The righteous cried out, and Yahweh heard, and delivered them from out of all their distresses. Yahweh is near to the brokenhearted, and saves those whose spirit is crushed. Many are the evils of the righteous, but Yahweh delivers him out of them all. He is guarding all his bones, not one of them is broken. Evil does slay the wrong, and those who hate the righteous are guilty. Yahweh redeems the lives of his servants, and none of those taking refuge in him are guilty. Alright, I want to show you what the acrostic actually looks like in Hebrew. Okay, this is Tehillim, or Psalms, and 35, or not 35, 34. The Lamed H would be 35, so Lamed Dalet is 34. And this first line, which is verse 1 in this, what does that mean? Le David, of David, Beshanachti, Shanutu, Et Tamar Tamu Lepene Abimelech Veyerush no Vigadosh. Alright, I don't know what this first line means. If anybody knows what that line means, that's verse 1 in here, tell me in the comments. Anyway, so verse 2 is equivalent to verse 1 in the actual English translation over here. They don't have anything that says of David or to David. So anyway, Abrucha. So it starts with Aleph, the first one, and it's something about blessing. Eight Yahweh. So I bless Yahweh. And then I don't know the rest of these words, so yeah. Alright, I don't know those words. So verse 3, which is equivalent to verse 2, Be Yahweh. Okay, in Yahweh. Tetelel. That's going to be... Yeah, I'm not really good at translating Hebrew if you haven't figured that out. But it is Aleph, Bet, Gimel. Alright, hi baby. That's her happy baby. Trying to show me an eraser. But, anyway. Dalet, Hey, Zayin, Chet. Where's the Vav? Okay, so we have the Vav halfway through verse 5. Alright, you just changed the page, little girl. So, right here, halfway through verse 5, is that fifth letter, or sixth, the Vav. I think that, anyway. Alright, so, just keeps on going with the letters in order to start the verses. That's what I'm trying to say. Hope that wasn't too distracting or long. Anyway, back to our scripture reading. We're going to go to Mark chapter 6 to finish off today's reading. Okay, Mark chapter 6. And he went away from there and came to his own country, and his taught ones followed him. And Sabbath having come, he began to teach in the congregation. And many who heard him were astonished, saying, Where did he get all this? And what wisdom is this which is given to him, that such miracles are done through his hands? Is this not the carpenter, the son of Miriam, and the brother of Yaakov, and Joseph, and Yehuda, and Shimon? And are not his sisters here with us? And they stumbled in him. And Yeshua said to them, A prophet is not unappreciated except in his own country, and among his own relatives, and in his own house. And he was unable to do any miracle there, except that he laid his hands on a few sick ones and healed them. And he marveled because of their unbelief. And he was going around making among the villages teaching. And he called the 12 near, and began to send them out 2 by 2, and gave them authority over unclean spirits. And he instructed them to take none at all for the journey except a staff, no bag, no bread, no copper in their money belts, but to wear sandals, and not to wear 2 undergarments. And he said to them, Wherever you enter into a house, stay there until you leave that place. And any place that does not receive you or listen to you, when you leave there, shake off the dust under your feet as a witness to them, against them. Truly I say to you, it shall be more bearable for Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. And they went out and proclaimed that men should repent. And they were casting out many demons, and they were anointing with oil many who were sick, and they were healing them. And sovereign Herodes heard, for his name had become well known. And he said, Yochanan the Immerser has been raised from the dead, and because of this, these powers are at work in him. Others said, he is Eliyahu, and others said, he is a prophet, like one of the prophets. But when Herodes heard, he said, This one is Yochanan, whom I beheaded, for he has been raised from the dead. For Yochanan himself had sent and seized Yochanan, and bound him in prison because of Herodias, his brother Philip's wife because he had married her. For Yochanan had said to Herodes, "It is not right for you to have your brother's wife." So Herodes held a grudge against him and wished to kill him, but was unable. For Herodes feared Yochanan, knowing that he was a righteous and set-apart man, and he protected him. And when he heard him, he was much perplexed, yet heard him gladly. And a suitable day came when Herodes, on his birthday, gave a feast for his great men and the high officers and the chief men of Galilee. And when the daughter of Herodias herself came in and danced and pleased Herodes and those who sat with him, the sovereign said to the girl, "Ask me whatever you wish, and I shall give it to you." And he swore to her, "Whatever you ask me, I shall give you, up to half of my kingdom, my reign." And she went out and said to her mother, "What shall I ask?" And she said, "The head of Yochanan the Immerser." And coming in immediately with haste to the sovereign, she asked, saying, "I wish that you would give me at once the head of Yochanan the Immerser on a dish." And the sovereign, becoming deeply grieved because of the oaths, and because of those who sat with him, did not wish to refuse her. And the sovereign straightway sent an executioner and commanded his head to be brought. And he went and beheaded him in a prison and brought his head on a dish and gave it to the girl, and the girl gave it to her mother. And when the taught ones heard of it, they came and took away his dead body and laid it in a tomb. And the emissaries gathered to Yeshua and reported to him all, both what they had done and what they had taught. And he said to them, "Come aside by yourselves to a lonely place and rest a little." For there were many coming and going, and they did not even have time to eat. And they went away to a lonely place in the boat by themselves. But they saw them going, and many recognized him and ran there on foot from all the cities, and came before them, and came together to him. And having gone out, Yeshua saw a large crowd, and was moved with compassion for them, because they were like sheep not having a shepherd. And he began to teach them many matters. And as the hour grew late, his taught ones came to him and said, "This is a lonely place, and now the hour is late. Send them away, so that they go into the surrounding country and villages, and buy themselves bread, since they have no food to eat." But he answering said to them, "You should give them to eat." And they said to him, "Should we go and buy 200 denarii worth of bread and give them to eat?" Then he said to them, "How many loaves do you have? Go and see." And when they found out, they said, 5 and 2 fishes. And he ordered them to make them all sit down in groups on the green grass. And they sat down in groups, in hundreds and in fifties. And taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, looking up to the heaven, he blessed and broke the loaves, and gave them to his taught ones to set before them. And the 2 fishes he divided among them all. And all ate and were satisfied. And they picked up 12 baskets filled with pieces, also from the fishes. Now those who ate the loaves were about 5,000 men. And immediately he made his taught ones enter into the boat, and to go before him to the other side, to Bethsaida, while he was dismissing the crowd. And having sent them away, he went away to the mountain to pray. And when evening came, the boat was in the middle of the sea, and he was alone on the land. And seeing them straining at rowing, for the wind was against them, at about the 4th watch of the night, he came to them walking on the sea, and he wished to pass them by. And when they saw him walking on the sea, they thought it was a phantom, and cried out. For they all saw him and were troubled. And immediately he spoke to them and said to them, "Take courage, it is I, do not be afraid." And he went up to them into the boat, and the wind ceased. And they were exceedingly amazed in themselves and marveled, for they did not understand about the loaves, because their heart was hardened. And having passed over, they came to the land of Gennesaret, and drew to shore. And when they came out of the boat, he was immediately recognized. And all that neighborhood ran about, and began to carry about on beds those who were sick to wherever they heard he was. And wherever he went, into villages or cities or the country, they were laying the sick in the marketplaces, and begged him to let them touch, if only the tzitzit of his garment, and as many as touched him were healed.